Hi everybody, welcome back to a brand new video and welcome back to my channel. It's Amy Caroline. Um, Welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to my channel. Anyway, it is time for your favorite ghost train stories. It's time for your ghost train stories. This story takes place in Suffolk, West Virginia. In Suffolk, no. Excuse me. This one takes place in Suffolk, Virginia. This takes place in Suffolk, Virginia. This story is called the Suffolk Ghost Light. The Suffolk Ghost Light. The Suffolk Ghost Light. So the Suffolk Ghost Light. Here we go. Suffolk, Virginia is a tidewater area community located on the very edge of the Great Dismal Swamp. The town was once an important rail center and is still crisscrossed by railroad tracks. Townsfolk report a ghost light very much like the Co-Oak Ghost Light. That appears on a bleak stretch of railroad tracks and at the fringe of the Great Dismal Swamp near Jackson Road. The road is a country lane close to the North Carolina border. People who have seen the light report a glow that suddenly emulates the area and then is gone. Others report a report a light that bobs up and down as it moves along the track. A light that looks like the glow from an old-fashioned kerosene lantern. The light, which can be quite bright, as has been seen moving up and down along the tracks for as long as an hour at a time. It is usually seen in late summer or early fall. Locals have several versions of why the light appears. All say the light is the ghost of a brakeman killed at the spot, but they differ from there. One version says the brakeman, who had a very sick child, left home in a terrible storm to flag down a train to send for medical help. The engineer didn't see the brakeman in time and ran him down, decapitating him. So others say the brakeman was trying to flag a train to warn its crew of a tree down across the tracks by a storm when he was hit and killed. Finally, many people say that, like Joe Baldwin, the brakeman was killed by decapitation in a train wreck. Folks say the brakeman is wandering the railroad tracks through eternity, still looking for his head. Anyway, Joe Baldwin Joe Baldwin, who is not the person in this story. Joe Baldwin, who is not Joe Baldwin, who is not the person in this story, but another brakeman is. But like Joe Baldwin, though, the brakeman was killed by decapitation in a train wreck. Folks say the brakeman is wandering the train tracks through eternity, still looking for his head. So, anyway, which is amazing. It's so popular around here. So here, so ooh. So he other folks others report a light that bobs up and down the tracks as it moves along the track, a light that looks like the glow from an old-fashioned kerosene lantern. Um and the road is a country it also says the road is a country lane close to the North Carolina border. Suffolk West no sorry Suffolk, Virginia is where it is. It's where it is. The Suffolk Ghost Light, Suffolk, Virginia is where it is. Anyway, that's where it takes place at, and that includes the story of the Suffolk Ghost Light. Now I'm going to read another story. Now I'm going to read another story. This one is called The Headless Engineer's Light. The Headless Engineer's Light. This one is called The Headless Engineer's Light. And this takes place about a mile from Chapel Hill, Tennessee. The old Louisville and Nashville Railroad crossed a gravel road. And also it takes place in the 1800s. It takes place in the 1890s and the 1890s and the 1890s. It takes place back in 1890, back in the year of 1890. So the Headless Engineer's Light. About a mile from Chapel Hill, Tennessee, the old Louisville and Nashville Railroad crossed a gravel road. According to local legend, a L&N engineer was killed there in the 1890s. He was leaning too far from the cab window, and when the train went into a sharp curve, he was pitched out. He was decapitated by his own train. Even in modern times, the engineer has returned looking for his head. After a night freight passes at 9:30 or so, a light appears and sways back and forth over the train tracks. Locals say the light is the ghost of the headless engineer still looking for his head. Anyway, so 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 that story, a lot of people do go to that area. There was one person that went to that area and got the fright of his life, and he went to that area and saw the ghost and saw the apparition, he saw the headless engineer's light, anyway, he saw the headless engineer's light, and started running back down the train tracks back to the city because he was so scared to death. Anyway, um 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 he was actually, um he he was actually doing a he was just there. Anyway, um um now I'm gonna show you guys. An example. Another example from Haunted Hotels, from the TV show Haunted Hotels, and I'm gonna show you guys what the Suffolk Ghost Light and what the Headless Engineer's Light has to look like on the Travel Channel if it were put on there by some of you guys and most of you guys. Okay. Those of you who work for the Travel Channel, and if you can if you can put this one on there too, if you can put the Suffolk Ghost Light and the Headless Engineer's Light on there too, it would be wonderful. Okay. So I'm going to show you an example from Haunted Hotels, and you will see, you'll see the stories like it was in Ghost Train when the stories went back in time. You'll see the people going back in time. You'll see the apparitions, you'll see the spirits, you'll see everything, and it's going to give you an idea and an example of what Ghost Train has to look like on the Travel Channel if it were put on there. Okay, so here's Haunted Hotels, and please enjoy.
Holidays are a time to relax in a beautiful setting. Golf, swimming, rambling, and ghosts. This is a tour of a very different kind. In England, a young maidservant may forever roam this country mansion, trapped by a fiery inferno from long ago. In the American South, this bed and breakfast is said to be home to a murderous spirit who lingers at the site of her unspeakable crime.
There are some spirits that consider you an uninvited guest, and sometimes they let you know it.
And in New England, peering eyes from beyond keep watch as guests pass through their former home. Journey into a realm of fear, where phantoms roam and terrifying tales come alive. When checking into a haunted hotel, double occupancy can take on a whole new meaning. On the New England coast in Newport, Rhode Island, magnificent mansions line the Ocean Drive, each one just a little larger than the next. Off this coast road is one of Newport's most refined houses, the Inn at Shadow Lawn. The inn features 8 elegant guest rooms, decorated in the style of the Victorian era. Here, the ghosts of those who lived and died long ago may still wander. And according to some, other phantoms keep watch.
Some of them are very unhappy that we're here.
The story of one troubled spirit goes back to Victorian times. In 1856, a wealthy man named Hamilton Hoppin built the home on the outskirts of town.
The house is one of the first Italianate stick-style houses to be built in the United States.
This rarity helped make Shadow Lawn much admired. Hamilton Hoppin may have enjoyed showing off his fine house a little too much, lording it over his younger brother Thomas.
Well, what would you like me to do about that?
Jealousy eventually drove the two brothers apart, but perhaps not forever. A century after both brothers had died, the innkeepers conducted a fruitless search for a picture of Hamilton, the house's original owner. But they were able to acquire a painting of the younger brother, Thomas, which they hung prominently in Shadow Lawn.
It's right on the staircase as you go in. It's quite impressive. He looks like he owns the world, not to mention the inn at Shadow Lawn.
Perhaps the painting awakened a long-dead rivalry. The innkeepers believe that at the very moment the image of Thomas was hung on the wall, Hamilton Hoppin sent an angry message.
When we put his picture up, all the clocks in the house turned back an hour. It was uncanny. Unbelievable. Every single clock in the house. To me, it seemed like going back in time.
The managers quickly discovered that Hamilton and Thomas had never settled their differences.
There was a very heaviness to the room at the time, and we felt the coldness.
What they saw next would haunt them forever.
We witnessed the spirits of Hamilton Hoppin and his younger brother Thomas Hoppin. They got into an argument. Thomas was torturing his older brother for some reason.
The hoteliers say that as long as Thomas has a place in the house, Hamilton will never rest in peace. And that the brothers keep a close eye on one another and all who enter the home.
I feel that he's looking at me going up the steps when I get to that picture. And when I come down the steps after checking in a guest, he's looking at me.
But there may be an even darker spirit here, a ghost whose anger can reach into the living world.
There are also other spirits here at the inn at Shadow Lawn that are here because they have no other choice.
Each night during the month of June, the innkeepers go to bed asking themselves one question. Will tonight be the night when she returns? Haunted hotels can make for unusual holidays. In Newport, Rhode Island, the inn at Shadow Lawn appears fated to play host to a wronged woman. There is no way of knowing which night she will pick or what she will destroy. But every June, objects in the front hallway are found violently smashed on the floor. Most recently, Shadow Lawn guests were awakened in the middle of the night by the sound of shattering glass.
Our grand mirror came crashing down into the hallway. It must have been 2:30 in the morning.
Who is the angry spectre behind this mischief? The story of this spirit dates back to 1913. Legend has it that a newlywed heiress moved to Shadow Lawn with her husband, a dashing Newport doctor. But the fairy tale life she'd imagined came crashing down around her when her husband revealed his true colors.
He started openly cheating on her with other women. He would parade his women in front of his wife.
Using his wife's money, the doctor bought one of the first horseless carriages.
At first, when it was purchased, he would take his wife out, but that became less and less. It was more of a time to flaunt and philander around with his other ladies.
The home where the newlyweds were meant to grow old together became a cold and lonely place, and the lady of the house began to change.
She became very secluded, stayed away from people, stayed in her room, didn't really talk to anyone.
Every day, the doctor's wife would stand by her window, watching, waiting for her philandering husband to return. And the rage inside her grew. Until, on a warm day in June, the doctor returned home from one of his afternoon trysts. This time, someone was waiting for him in the bushes. An unseen assailant gunned down the doctor.
Literally out of the blue, out of nowhere, he was shot to death.
No one who knew the couple had any doubt as to who his killer was. The doctor's wife was charged with murder. Though she was eventually acquitted, locals were sure it was a case of a woman scorned and driven to kill. The entire town shunned her for the rest of her life. The innkeepers believe that each June she returns to Shadow Lawn to tell her side of the story, that the doctor left her no other choice.
She does want to make herself known. She does want to tell her story, to put her point across to people.
So when antiques come crashing down in the front hall, the innkeepers see it as her way of striking back at those who would judge her.
Because I'm sure she did love him, there must have been a tremendous amount of guilt.
There are guests who have been startled by a shadowy figure by the bedroom window, staying up late.
In the room that she does inhabit, lights have remained on, possibly waiting for him to come home.
The innkeepers believe it is the doctor's wife, hoping against hope that her straying husband will finally come home to her. And every June, it seems she almost gets her wish.
Once a year, a horseless carriage would come up into the driveway, and somewhere along the driveway, it would vanish. Since he never made it home, this is his way of finally making it home.
Some believe the inn at Shadow Lawn is full of other spirits as well.
They can be sitting next to you at dinner time. They can be going up the staircase with you as you're bringing in your luggage.
But be warned, these ghosts have their own ways of letting you know they were here first.
There are some spirits that consider you an uninvited guest in their home. And sometimes they let you know it.
It appears some spectres keep watch, others have tales to tell, and there are those that continue on with their duties from times long past. The mountains of northern New England are a favorite spot for tourists who want to commune with nature. For many of them, the perfect retreat is the Mount Washington Hotel and Resort in New Hampshire. Guests have been visiting the hotel's 300 rooms for over a century.
We're located right at the base of Mount Washington. We're a little lucky here because the mountain acts as a real buffer for us and sort of protects us from the winds. So things are pretty calm.
But sometimes, late at night, this calm has been broken. Things may not be quite as peaceful as they seem.
She walked straight up to me and she looked me in the eye and she said to me, "Is this place haunted?"
Okay, so I'm going to stop there. I'm going to stop there. So
Looking for comfort, power, and reliability? Cook's Quick
did you see of how the
lifetime warranty. You're driving
did you see of how the story went back in time to 1913 and the 1800s? Did you see of how the story went back in time and stuff like that? Well, that's what the that's what the that's what the Suffolk light has to do. That's what the Suffolk ghost light has to do. And that's what the headless engineer's light has to do too, okay? So when Ghost Train is made as a documentary on the Travel Channel, that's what it has to do, okay? That's what it has to do in the show. That's what has to happen in the show, in the TV show, okay? That's what has to happen in the show, okay? That's what Ghost Train has to do. That's what Ghost Train has to do, okay? Okay? So in the episode for the Suffolk Ghost Light and the Headless Engineer, the story has to go back in time to 1890 and to let me see when the Suffolk Ghost Light is. The Suffolk Ghost Light has to be in Suffolk, Virginia. It doesn't say what year it was. But the Suffolk, Virginia takes place in Virginia, in Suffolk, Virginia. And the Headless Engineer's Light takes place in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. And the Headless Engineer's Light takes place in Chapel Hill, Tennessee. Anyway, and the story of the story of the Headless Engineer's Light takes place in 1890, in the year of 1890. Anyway, the Headless Engineer's Light takes place in the year of 1890. So as you saw on Haunted Hotels, when the apparitions appeared, when the ghost appeared, and when the people were telling the story about the place and stuff like that, well, that is what has to happen in the TV show Ghost Train, okay? Same thing, okay? Okay? So this is for the Travel Channel Company. This is for the Travel Channel Company to know. I hope you guys enjoyed these stories, and give this video a thumbs up. I'll be back for some more Ghost Train stories later today. Give this video a thumbs up, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and I will see you guys later for my next vlog and my next YouTube video. Happy haunted travels to you guys, and happy ghost watching, and happy ghost hunting, and I will see you guys really soon, okay? Bye.